You lift, you roll, you hit your cardio. So why the hell are you still gassing out by the third round and then being relegated to the wall to watch the rest of the rounds? It's not just about being fit, and today we're going to fix that. I'm Garrett. I'm a BJJ black belt and an exercise physiologist, and I help athletes train not just harder, but also smarter. I've made a lot of dumb mistakes over my 18 years of training, especially when that comes to conditioning. A recurring problem I had early on was that I felt very unfit despite training for 30 plus hours a week. So if you're training quite a bit, but still feel gassed after a round with that athletic blue belt at your club, you're definitely not alone. Here's the thing with fitness. Fitness is specific to the task we are measuring it in. If we look at these two athletes, I can probably guess which one you would say is fitter. Well, the athlete on the left has deadlifted more than anyone ever has. To say he was not fit for the task of deadlifting is pretty stupid. If we asked him to run anything over 100 meters though, he would probably not be very fit for that task. Fitness isn't a singular thing. It's more of a description of the necessary balance of strength, speed, and endurance we need for a given sport. When we look at combat sports, they require brief, repeated high-intensity bouts of activity. It's bursts of scrambling, passing, wrestling, with a little bit of recovery in between. It's absolutely chaos. Most combat sports require the development of all three energy systems. Each of these could be your rate limiter, holding back your fitness. There are probably at least 3 reasons you might still be gassing out. The first is pretty simple. You might not want to hear it, but you probably suck at grappling. Chances are, if you're new to the sport, you're probably still very inefficient with your movement and don't quite understand how to pace yet. There's a reason some of the most unfit looking brown and black belts are the ones that are going all the way through the open mat. They are so damn efficient that they're able to conserve their energy when they need to, and they also know when to spend it. This is by far the simplest and most difficult problem to solve. You simply need to get better at grappling. Other than the standard advice to keep showing up, there are a few things that I typically advise students to do. The first is to be okay with losing. Most of our training should be exploratory, and need I say it, playful. This takes a little bit of mindfulness to notice when we're death gripping the shit out of a useless grip. The second way we can focus on improving is to fix specific problems. Once again, the goal of each training session is to not win, but to get better. When you focus on specific problems or areas you're trying to develop, you remain a little bit more task focused. And anecdotally, I find this helps bring people back down from the red zone at a little bit lower intensity. The second major reason you're gassing out is you're probably doing too much of the wrong training. Fatigue masks fitness. So even if our training is improving our fitness, if we have lots of fatigue, we're not able to express that. Additionally, some types of training, kettlebells, I'm looking at you, may not be helping us in the slightest. I see a lot of grapplers doing circuits and intervals that try to match the demands of the sport very closely. They're similar to the times in matches with similar durations and similar movement patterns. The issue with these is they're a very shitty way of developing exactly the same fitness we develop when we're rolling. Rolling and drilling are going to develop our fitness in this way, exactly the same way, but with the added benefit of developing our skill as well. The time doing these circuits would be better spent on developing more general physical capacities like strength, power, speed, or more general anaerobic and aerobic endurance. The basic pieces of a strength and conditioning program should be the following: maximal strength and power work, injury risk reduction, aerobic work, and then a sprinkling of anaerobic conditioning on top of that. To get a better understanding of the different energy systems and how they apply to grappling, you can check out the videos linked in the description below. With that being said, we probably need 2 to 3 sessions per week focused on getting stronger and more powerful, as well as building capacity in tissues that are likely to be injured. So this is areas like the elbows, knees, and our back. Then a little bit of our time can be devoted to aerobic conditioning, with sessions like 45 minutes of an easy effort on the bike. Then if we have time and we need to, we can add in some shorter sprints to help out build up the glycolytic system. Final mistake, which is under recovery. Admittedly, grapplers are pretty lazy, so this is much more common in other combat sports. However, if we're doing too much overall, even if it's the correct stuff, we are going to feel less fit. Remember that fatigue masks our fitness. If we're generating too much fatigue, we'll likely feel pretty flat. This is an easy problem to fix. Just do less. Sometimes that desire to train more is really just an emotional need disguised as a desire to train more. We have to remind ourselves that more is not better. Better is better. Being fit for grappling is a complex challenge. The sport demands a lot from us on a physical, technical, tactical, and psychological level. We need to be careful on how we allocate our training time. You don't need to feel like trash all the time to improve your conditioning. You just need a plan that makes sense for your grapple. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to keep learning how to apply exercise physiology and sports science to your grappling.